In today's training, we're going to be reviewing the various charts in the Voyant software and how to interpret and understand what makes them up. We're going to start on the Let's See screen and look at single chart. We're looking first at the cash flow chart, and I have the legend turned on for this so that we have access to the descriptions of the various colors and items on the chart. If we look at the first year of the chart, just keep in mind that Voyant works in full planning years, so when we look at this first bar on the chart, it represents a full 12-month year. The black total need line is going to reflect all estimated expenses and taxes that are in this plan. The basic line is going to be those expenses less any luxury or contribution items. We can look at the blue, which represents all inflows. This is all cash or income flowing into the plan in this year. We can see that is $450,000. The difference between our total need and our inflows is going to be this surplus income here. And to savings is going to represent all of the contributions that we currently have scheduled in the plan. If you want to review exactly what makes up these numbers, the best place to do that is going to be in year view. You can look first at the cash flow section, which will show you the breakdown of where we're getting this total inflow number from. You can see here it's represented as $450,000 in year one. This is also the number we see here, and we can see the breakdown of where all of that income is coming from. Going next to expenses, you can see here we have a total need of $262,609. And if you want to see a breakdown of where that number is coming from, you can do that here in the expenses tab. You can see exactly what the expenses are in each year. You can click on these items and see their payment source. And the next thing we can look at, as you see all of these contributions here are going to be included in that total need number. You can also go to your investments tab, review those contributions and which accounts they're going to, see the end of year estimated balances and any withdrawals that might be happening in that year. And you can click on these items and review the full breakdown of that account, including fees and any asset allocation that might apply. So let's click off of year view and go back into our chart and turn on the details button. The details button allows you to see a visual of where all of the cash is being sourced from to fulfill expenses. So you can see in the early years, if we hover over the first bar in the chart, we have employment in dark blue, we have other income in pink. And again, if you go back to that year view, you can see the breakdown of those different types of income. Same thing for in the retirement phase, you can see how we are pulling from different assets to fulfill those expenses. So we have pink for other income, and then we're pulling from cash or taxable accounts. And then when we move into the later years, they start pulling from their retirement savings or tax deferred accounts. And you can go again to year view, use this slider bar on the chart to see exactly what accounts are being used to fulfill those expenses. You can go to expenses and see where that $332,000 number is coming from. As far as the breakdown in their expenses, you can go to investments to see exactly what's being withdrawn from which accounts and what that does to the end of year balance. And then when you move over into the later years, you can see we are almost completely depleting this joint investment account. So when we move to the next year, you can see why we're starting to pull from the tax deferred retirement accounts. You also have the ability, if you turn off year view, to scroll through these various different charts and see the details of them all. For example, in your assets chart, you can see a breakdown of your client's assets in every year, and you'll see their end of year estimated values. In this section here, you can scroll over to later years and see, for example, what their asset values would be at retirement. And as long as your legend is on here, you can remove different items from the chart if you'd like. For example, we could remove those illiquid properties and just look at their liquid asset values. We can hide all and just look at a specific account and see how that is growing over time. or you can show all and see the entire picture. Again, same thing with taxes. If you look at the main chart here, we can see what their estimated total taxes are going to be in any given year. And then as we go into later years, you can see the cumulative amount as that builds up over time. And if you want to see the details of what the taxes are in each given year, you can again go to Year View and go to Taxes and see a breakdown of your client's taxes and how that was estimated. A couple of other quick navigation things. You can use this drop down to move across different charts. You can also use these arrows on either side of the chart to move around the different charts and see them this way. And you can also go to zoom and zoom in on specific periods of time. So if you wanted to focus on a specific set of years, you can use this zoom option to do that. We also have a new tabular data view. For example, if we're looking at cash flow and the tabular data, you can see a tabular version of this. This is also an accessible view, great for screen readers. I hope that this has been helpful. If you have any questions about how to navigate the charts or interpret the data, you can always reach out to us at support@planwithvoyant.com, or you can request support by clicking the name of your client in the top right, selecting request support, enter your question into the text box, and share client access. Thanks for listening.